I'm Mason Mount. You're listening to the London is Blue podcast.
But either way, I think, Dan, we can go ahead and transition maybe into a little bit more of the chat, kind of like follow up from your guys' conversation. It's almost like a year removed. A lot has happened in a year. Let's go ahead and see where you guys want to start with revisiting and getting updated opinions and thoughts.
Well, Pat, when we spoke last time, Sarri was still the manager. We talked about maybe former players coming back. And I think you even opined with us that JT, in your mind, was maybe the more likely to come back as a manager for the side. But now we've come into this 2019, 2020, and Frank Lampard's Chelsea manager. We'd love to kind of maybe just get a general sense of, like, from start of the season until now, what's your overall opinion on kind of his style of management, and what has worked really well for him, and where do you still see an opportunity for him to grow?
So much. I mean, first of all, he's done so much better. He's so far ahead of the curve. I remember writing that, after about 5 or 6 weeks, he's ahead of the curve already. And it's a phrase that seemed to take a life of its own, saying, and Frank started using it himself. But so far ahead of where he was expected to be, and stayed ahead. So much so that when we had a little bit of a couple of dips, people were saying, it's all going wrong. No. That's where we should have been, really, guys. That's amazing that we're still above that. So I've really impressed with that. The JT thing, I have to say, had JT been a manager and done the same thing, we'd be feeling the same way. So it's fine. One day, 10 years' time, I'll be very happy if JT is a manager, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens one day down the line. As for Frank and Jody, though, the bravery, that's really got me. That really has surprised me. Because any young manager coming in, if you've got, the cojones to walk out there and do some of the things that Frank's done, stood toe to toe with some people. I mean, first of all, outthinking Mourinho twice. I love that, man. Tactical outthinking. That's just genius. I've loved that. It's been the highlights of the year so far anyway. Other things that, obviously we know, believing in some players, that you didn't think about. And hearing Frank and Jody talk, and, the words like Frank will turn around to Jody and Eddie and say, is X-player ready? And they'll go, yeah. And we're thinking, well, the confidence it comes back to when Frank goes, fine, puts them in. And be it Reece, be it Tomori, be it just, and they come. Because they just say, yeah. And you have to have that. Frank thinks they're ready. And the most recent one being Billy Gilmore. Is he ready? Yeah. no breath, just yeah. But it takes everyone to be brave enough to do that. So that bravery has been absolutely phenomenal. And the fact that we are such an attack-minded side, I've got no problem with that whatsoever. Lots of people talking about things we will lose goals. Yeah, that's what happens to attack-minded sides. It can happen. You have to deal with it. So, I've put up with that and I've accepted that. We have got one or two weaknesses, which I think he generally sees. You remember earlier in the season we had a period where we lost a lot of goals from corner kicks. And we seem wedded to this very specific method of defending. Now, we stuck to it for a while, and then Frank just went, no, forget that, and moved off it. Changed it, made it a half man-to-man, half zone. We still lost a few from set pieces. We're not necessarily the tallest team. So watching them technically, watching them in terms of personality, his bravery, all that stuff is absolutely superb so far. What could he learn? It's kind of, I'm just watching him learning. I've seen him learn things. I've watched him change his mind on things and adapt on things. So if you're a manager and you're not learning, you've got to be some sort of genius, because I've never seen a manager who's not learning as it goes along. Frank's learning, but he's learning so quick just now. So you ask me what it is he has to do, just more and more experience and the opportunity to bring some more of those players in that he wants to get.
Yeah, I think we probably take it for granted a little bit. Like, he's dropped Kepa, he's dropped anyone, a lot of rotation. I mean, not only is he a young manager, he's coming in managing in the Premier League and the Champions League and the FA Cup and the League Cup. There's just a lot that goes into it. And Yeah, I definitely think that he just started so well that we've kind of just accepted that this is the standard. When in all reality, I think for any, first time manager in the Premier League, which he is, like he's done so well with kind of a lot of his decisions he's made. I think that's pretty interesting to hear.
Can I tell you one, just before you go off
Yeah.
that? One of the things, you mentioned managing. So when we think managing, we often think, obviously, the tactics that they're doing just now, the players that you're bringing in, etc. No, the word managing, as in management, as in many of us, or almost all of us, have worked where we've had a manager above us, whatever your business is, right? So what do you want your manager to do? It's really simple. You want them to realise what you're good at. You want them to find a way to get the best out of you. You want them to treat you respectfully. And so you've all the things that you want a manager to do. Just put them all over from that box into a football box, and it's exactly the same. So watch it this season. Some of the things this is probably, if I would say, the thing that's impressed me most about Frank. Talk about his bravery and all that sort of stuff. This is the thing that's impressed me. Olivier Giroud, World Cup winner. He's played for France. He's been out the team. He's not got a sniff. He's behind Tammy Abraham. When he comes in, well done, Olivier, keeping a good attitude. That's brilliant. But, it's got to go good management. It does that. He walked back in and suddenly his attitude is absolutely nailed on. Have you seen, I've not seen one bottom lip out. There's been lots of players that have been dropped and they come back in and boy, do they fight it. They go and chase it. Because the manager's just been respectful about them. The manager's just said, right, you're not in now, this is why not. He's playing better, he's doing this, he's doing that. If you keep on going and you get a chance and you take the chance, you can have it. How many players has he done that with? It's been absolutely brilliant. He's done it telling you, by the way, my son's going to walk in. Just on camera, Simon. Mum will be back in a minute. No shops.
Well, Pat, one of the things.
First time on camera. By the way, big fanatical Chelsea fan, Simon.
Yeah,
total fanatic.
Love that.
One of the things that we've noticed from Lampard, specifically around Giroud, and I think some other players as well that he's dropped throughout the year, is you've seen him slowly but surely maybe admit that he was wrong about the order of things, or admit that maybe we didn't give Giroud enough chances early on when Michi wasn't necessarily firing on all cylinders. So I think it's a sign of maturity to me that, one of the things you would expect from a really good manager is if you were right about something, that they would eventually come around to that idea and give you a shot at something that maybe they didn't think that you could do. And that's been really encouraging for me. And I think had to be encouraging for Giroud, because he went from no minutes to all the minutes very quickly.
Yeah. So, you've kept him with the right psychological attitude. You've just been straight. It's the biggest thing footballers ever say to the bosses. Just be straight with me. And if you are straight with them, and to be honest, it's easy to say, but it's hard to do. Because sometimes walking up to a player and say, by the way, I think he's better than you, it's less crushing. It's the way you have to say it. Because remember, if you're a soccer player and you're at top level, you believe you are the best. You will not get anywhere unless you believe you are the best. And if your manager says the exact opposite, so it's really tough management that. But there, as you absolutely correctly say, the bravest people are the ones that say, I'm wrong. I'm able to say it. And I would say the vast majority of managers I've worked under in my career, I've never had the ability to say it. They've got an idea in their mind, they're stuck to their idea, and they're embarrassed, and they think it shows weakness when they say that they're wrong or accept that they're wrong. It doesn't. You're absolutely right, Nick. It says exactly the opposite. It says you're strong. You're strong enough to be able to make those sort of big decisions. And if you get those players on board that you could have lost, many times have been on it over the years, any team but Chelsea particularly, a player's kind of left out in the cold. He's gone. He's dead to you. You've lost a player. And there comes a part of the season where you need that guy. You think, I even thought that about Giroud as well. We're going to need him. I hope we're treating him okay. And it didn't seem to be. But the minute he walks through the door, you see that he has. And I'm fortunate enough to talk to Olivier just before the shutdown. And I hadn't actually talked to him before. What a stunningly polite, lovely guy. And there's no arrogance about him. And considering what he's done in the world of football, there is not the slightest scintilla of arrogance about him. So maybe that helps dealing with that sort of guy.